There are new developments in the unfolding palace controversy in the Benin Kingdom as the Benin Traditional Council intensifies action over an unauthorized visit that has stirred national attention. The council says a palace queen remains under serious disciplinary review and could still be removed following her appearance in viral content recorded during the visit of social media influencer Habib Hamzat Adilaja, also known as Pella. The visit, which took place at the palace of Oba Ewuari II, has been firmly condemned as a breach of long-standing protocol, with officials stressing that the palace is a sacred institution, not a venue for online content creation. In the latest update, the council confirms that a palace staff member allegedly linked to the incident has been detained and charged, while pressure is mounting on the influencer to honor an invitation to appear before a panel of chiefs. The council warns that failure to comply could lead to legal action as authorities move to reinforce discipline and preserve the sanctity of the Benin Royal Institution. Fear and uncertainty are once again gripping residents across the country following a renewed wave of suicide bombings and coordinated attacks by insurgent groups in the northeast. The latest attacks in Borno State have raised serious concerns about the security situation in the region, years after the federal government and the Nigerian military declared that the insurgency had been largely degraded. Many Nigerians are now asking a troubling question: is anywhere truly safe? And is Nigeria winning the war against insecurity? Our correspondent spoke to some Nigerians on the street and now reports.
I am not safe. I am not safe. Even in Asorok, Asorok is not safe.
The resurgence of suicide bombings in Nigeria's northeast is reigniting fears among residents and raising fresh questions about the country's security architecture. In recent weeks, Borno State has recorded several coordinated attacks on civilian and military formations linked to insurgents believed to be affiliated with the extremist group Boko Haram and its splinter faction, Islamic State West Africa Province. The attacks, many of which is carried out by suspected suicide bombers, have targeted crowded civilian locations in and around Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, with the latest incident on Monday, March 16, 2026, where a series of coordinated suicide bombings struck Maiduguri town, killing at least 23 people and injuring over 108 others. The attacks occurred nearly simultaneously around 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., shortly after residents had broken their daily Ramadan fast. The explosions hit some of the city's busiest and most sensitive areas, including a popular weekly market, El Kanemi, commonly called Monday Market, the entrance gate of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, the State Post Office area, a major business and transport hub in the city center, and an explosion in Kaleri neighborhood, an eastern residential area in the state. Reacting to the developments in the region, residents of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, say the latest attacks are a painful reminder that insecurity is far from over and closer than you think.
To me, as a person, Nigeria is not really doing something about insecurity. Because if today is happening in Maiduguri, tomorrow Kaduna, the next day Kwara, I, I expected them to find the source or the sponsors of these guys. Where are these guys? If you can listen to Gumi, one of the Islamic scholars, he said Nigerian government know these people by name, know their location, and know them. So if you know me as a terrorist, and tomorrow I'm killing here, and we are not doing anything, I feel we are not ready to fight this war.
Nigerian government needs to take action about it because we have been battling with this issue of Boko Haram since more than 15 years now. And with the level Nigeria is now, we shouldn't be talking about insecurity. I am disappointed in what is happening because myself too, I lost a brother. Yes, I lost a brother, I think 3 days ago, Captain Aliyu Haji, who happens to be my brother from Lokoja. He lost his life in the fight against this insecurity. So how many lives do they want to kill?
They are, however, calling for stronger security measures to prevent a return to the dark days of ceaseless bombings and targeted attacks against innocent civilians.
I think it's for government to be sincere to themselves. Because if they kill your own person, your son or your daughter or relative, that's when most of them will wake up. Because it's an ordinary citizen, they don't care the number of people they kill, blood wasted every day. So they are not sincere. If they are sincere, these guys sometimes they do a live video. You know them, you can track them. If you track them and destroy them from source, all these things will not be happening. Even though they are doing, they will apply caution, knowing that somebody will be after them. But where they are doing it, that they don't care because they know that nobody is after them. So if Nigerian government is sincere, they will fight the terrorists.
What I suggest is, number one, Nigerian government should be proactive. They should be proactive. And I also suggest that we should pray for our military because they are going through a lot. Because I saw a post on TikTok last week where a military personnel was crying in a military vehicle that the lives they've lost is too much. The government should do something about it. So I suggest Nigerian government should act fast. Those people are important to us. They are our heroes. Because it's actually not easy for somebody to be awake for us to sleep.
While no group has officially claimed responsibility for the attack, the Nigerian army and police have attributed the bombings to Boko Haram militants. As President Bola Tinubu orders security chiefs to Maiduguri to take charge of the situation, the Borno State Governor, Babangana Zulum, condemned the acts as barbaric and inhumane, while suggesting the surge in attacks is a reaction to intense military operations in the Sambisa forest. Meanwhile, security officials say investigations into the recent explosions are ongoing, even as residents remain on high alert, hoping that the renewed wave of violence will not escalate further. Meanwhile, tension is mounting in Ebonyi State following fresh revelations in the Amasiri boundary crisis, where authorities say 4 alleged severed heads are yet to be recovered. Security operatives combing affected communities have uncovered shallow graves and mutilated bodies, deepening fears over the scale of violence linked to the dispute. Police say no fewer than 32 suspects have now been arrested, arraigned, and remanded in connection with the killings as investigations intensify. Reacting to the development, the governor of Ebonyi State, Francis Nwifuru, has ordered the immediate destruction of shrines and deities in Amasiri believed to be connected to the crisis. The governor has also set up a land demarcation committee to address the root cause of the boundary dispute and prevent further bloodshed. In a move to support affected families, the state government also announced the distribution of 70 million naira alongside food items and building materials to relatives of the victims. Authorities say efforts are ongoing to recover the missing body parts and restore calm in the troubled communities. With the wave of mass defections and political tension ahead of the 2027 election, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, Adewale Adebayo, has called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to lower political tensions ahead of the 2027 general elections, urging him to create a level playing field for all parties. Adebayo made the appeal during an iftar gathering with politicians and media practitioners in Abuja.
And I will plead with President Tinubu, he doesn't have to win this election. So also, I don't have to win. The only entity that needs to win is Nigeria.
Speaking at the event, Adebayo advised the president to act as a statesman despite being a contestant by encouraging broader participation from Nigerians and opposition parties. He stressed that the integrity of the electoral process must be protected to strengthen democracy.
Let him rethink the fact that even though we contested against him, we recognize that it's Almighty Allah who decided who will be there. But being there doesn't mean that you are in charge of today or you are in charge of tomorrow. You are to do your duty to the country, so that that period that you are there is a service to God and humanity. Therefore, all of the preparations to make the election to be very tense, to be complicated, to be controversial, to create a situation where Nigerians are going to be arming against one another, plotting against one another, the president should lead by toning down the tempo and assuring us that he can be a statesman even though he's contesting election.
The SDP chieftain also warned against any attempt to impose leadership on Nigerians, noting that the nation's future must take precedence over personal ambition.
Therefore, the president needs to know that the future is more important than the present. And there is no way you can impose yourself on the Nigerian people. Therefore, let Nigerian people at the end of the election say, this election is one in which they decided the winner. It's one in which they decided the direction of the country. And it's one in which they can now be called upon to make sacrifice. Because for the country to be great, everybody will make a sacrifice. But people will not make a sacrifice if they feel that they didn't give you the power, but you grab it, you snatch it, and you run away with it. Then you are the one who will make the sacrifice by yourself.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has announced new dates for the 2027 general elections following amendment to the Electoral Act. Presidential and National Assembly elections are now scheduled for January 16, 2027, while governorship and state assembly polls will hold on February 6, 2025. INEC said the adjustment is aimed at ensuring a smoother and more credible electoral process in Nigeria. Imefono Kon reporting for Clever News.
And that's the news. Many thanks for watching. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.